Well, this is a modern car. It has 4 wheels. It goes by itself. It goes real fast. What about an ancient car? Today we are at a Shang Dynasty grave site from about 3,500 years ago, and we discovered 6 chariots here. In modern Chinese, we have the character for car, and if you look at it, it doesn't look like much of anything. But if you compare it with the traditional character, you can see how it changed. The traditional character looks kind of like a car with maybe 4 wheels. But if we look at the more ancient character, we see that it's not really 4 wheels, it's 2 wheels, and it's drawn by 2 horses or 2 cows. Today we have Mr. Niu. Mr. Niu works here. He's an expert on these chariots, and he's going to tell us more about their structure. Mr. Niu.
Nice to meet you, Uncle Hans. I'm very happy to introduce the history for you. First, let's know about the structure of the chariot of Shang Dynasty.
Okay.
This way, please.
Okay.
This is an imitation of the chariot of Shang Dynasty. The front, this is a curva. There are 2 yokes on the neck of 2 horses. The middle is a shaft. The back is a coach, and these are 2 wheels. This is the animal skin, like the tire.
Ah. And the wheels and the coach are very big, so for 3 people, and the horses look like they would be very uncomfortable.
The drivers sitting in the middle. Left part is higher position, right part is lower position. 3 people sitting inside. China is one of the ancient countries to invent and use chariot in the world. Said that in Xia Dynasty, Xizhong was first invented the chariot, but until now, archaeologists haven't discovered the chariot from Xia Dynasty. The earliest chariot was discovered from Yinxu, Anyang. These 6 chariot houses piece were discovered at Xiaomington Liujiazhuang village, and they have been removed here. In Shang Dynasty, the Shang kings and the noblemen take this kind of chariot during their lifetime. After their death, they buried this chariot nearby their ancient tombs. They killed 2 horses in front and buried 1 slave at the back. And his feet were cut.
Oh, why were his feet cut?
He probably was a captive from the war.
Oh, okay. So he wouldn't run away.
From 1935 until now, over 100 pieces chariot horses have been discovered here. They are 1,000 years earlier than the chariot discovered from Qin Shi Huang Emperor tomb.
Oh, yeah, about 1,000 years earlier.
Yeah.
So that's sort of like being buried in your car.
Have you been to the terracotta areas in Xi'an?
Yes.
And the terracotta areas, that is a pottery figure. That chariot is made of bronze. That is bronze chariot.
Oh, yeah, that's much later, about 1,000 years later. So this is made of wood.
Made of wood, yeah. So it's wood mixed with the earth.
This is a chariot we just saw. Riding such a chariot would definitely be a bumpy ride. With the sedan chair, humans became animal power. The sedan chair also reflects the strict social hierarchy of old China. The English word rickshaw originates from jinricksha, the Japanese pronunciation of renli che. Renli che means human-powered cart. In China, they had hongbao che, yellow-covered cars, which translate as yellow cab, to differentiate them from private cars. In the 80s, if you had a Phoenix bicycle, you were probably quite well off. At that time, a bicycle might transport a whole family of 3, 1 on the beam and 1 on the back. A 2.8 brand bicycle was one of the best betrothal gifts in China at the time. Later, motorcycles appeared. Old-fashioned motorcycles were a trend, and a symbol of liberation in the 90s and early 21st century. With the development of China's economy and the process of urbanization, China now has its own domestic brands of cars. Jiefeng and Hongqi are examples. In 2020, about 1 in 4 Chinese adults owns a car. But with the advent of taxi apps and massive urbanization and public transportation, the need for a car is much less than in other countries. Also, there is no place to park a car. With the advent of personal cars, traffic jams and pollution have become a problem. Shared vehicles have emerged, and people have begun to attach importance to environmental protection and advocate environmentally friendly travel. Nowadays, with the continuous development of science and technology, artificial intelligence, and driverless cars, new energy vehicles have begun to appear. Wonder what will the future of cars be like?